8 questions, and Narcissist is simply gonna answer it. I've been calling Narcissist a lot lately. I don't know why though. So you're saying I won't be able to answer this if people ask me? Gotcha.
As you invest in your primary relationships, there are certain basics that you want to maintain so that the relationship can have the deepest level of reward for you, and it can be something that can actually bring out the very best in who you are and who those in front of you will want to be.
Gotcha.
And among those healthy characteristics are things like openness, curiosity, mutual curiosity about one another, a sense of accountability. You know, you want to have a sense of teamwork that says, I want to share with you who I am, I want to know who you are, and so we can put our resources together and encourage each other and stimulate each other as the days and weeks and months and years go by. That's how healthy relationships work. Now, let's throw the narcissist.
Yeah, I'm at least a portion narcissist, right? Because I think all the streamers are. Anybody who does any job that's super self-spotlighty, self-centered, have to be at least a certain portion narcissist. It's literally part of it. If you're not at least a little bit narcissist, you're gonna fail super hard in those realms. That's how it is.
Into the mix is like, well, here comes the one that's gonna gunk up all those good kind of ingredients. Narcissists don't want to have this sense of teamwork. They want you to be on their team, but what that means to them is they want you to be subordinate to them. And so narcissists carefully construct their own narrative where they're the hero, they're the winner, they're the one that knows the best.
That's true.
So you don't get honesty from them. They don't want you to think that they're part of the group. They have to be a little bit above the rest of the group.
True.
So self-revelation is not something they're comfortable with at all. They're very calculated. They're always going for an angle. So that said, there are certain things that you will not access inside that person. And I've constructed here 8 questions that a narcissist simply cannot answer because it would require them to have a sense of honesty that just doesn't exist on the inside. So I'm going to go through these 8 questions, and I want you to think if this is something that you encounter with some of the narcissists in your life. Now, one of the first questions is, what are some of your deepest hurts? If you were to ask a narcissist that question, they would just look at you like, why would you ask a stupid question like that? I don't have hurts. I mean, sometimes they may actually say, these people over here, and they weren't very good, or these people over here, I didn't like the way they handle it. But then what they do is they'll say, that doesn't bother me, it's just their problem. And so they don't admit that they struggle or they've had strain and tension. They blame. But at the end of it all, they have to come out looking like, I'm strong, I'm better than all of that. You may have hurts, but I don't. But then when you think, well, if you don't have any hurt.
You know, China, I've been self-therapeuting a lot, okay? And I've been admitting to people around me a lot more what are my hurts. And you know what's crazy, chat? Many people that I interact with are kind of dog shit. They actually use it against me a lot. And they kind of like flip it back on me. And I feel like I never get socially rewarded for being vulnerable with people. I think that's a big problem with doing it.
Why are you so mean? Or why are you so caustic? Or why are you so rude to other individuals? You had to learn that from somewhere, and they don't understand that illustrates that they've been on the receiving end of some improper treatment. But their notion is, well, the way that I show that I'm strong, I don't admit it. I'm above all that kind of stuff. The rest of you peons have weaknesses. But in healthy relationships, we understand, well, admitting weaknesses is a strength. That's something that's lost on the narcissist. Now, a second question that goes right along with that.
No, I think I'm okay with that.
Why is it so difficult to the point of impossible for you to admit flaws and mistakes? You know, whenever...
Basically, it's hard because it makes me feel lesser than other people, and it hurts.
A narcissist
my ego hurts
or makes mistakes, and we all do, rather than saying,
and often there's no positives out of admitting it.
I miscalculated that, or boy, did I just see that in a wrong kind of light. I'm so sorry. They can't do that. Now they can blame if the mistake is so obvious that you just have to acknowledge the fact that something.
Most people hear a weakness, and they see a point of attack, which I think sucks a lot. I think most people have interacted with in the past, most let's say people that are close to me, are like, yeah, like I'm like this and this happens and that fucks me up. And I'm like, yeah, dude, exactly. Like you should have admitted this, and then I get fucked on for it, man.
Didn't go right. They'll just say, well, it was your fault. It certainly wasn't mine. Narcissists have such a thick wall of defensiveness around them that you will not get to know them, and admitting flaws and talking about their mistakes is highly threatening to them, because it means that that they're a regular person, and it's like, no, you're not going to know me as a regular person. Or a third question, and this one may make you think, oh yeah, I see this one, and that is, why do you feel the need to impress strangers? Now, when I'm around strangers, or you're around strangers, or people that you don't know very well, you certainly want to be friendly and pleasant. But narcissists, when they...
Because I like attention, actually. Because, okay, you know, chat? This is because I like attention. I like being looked at, and I like being in the spotlight, dude. That's fun.
They see people that don't know them very well. They're thinking,
that's fun.
This is a blank slate here, and I get to write whatever story I want to write. And so the strangers represent shallowness and superficiality, in the sense that they just don't know what they don't know. And so the narcissist can think, well, I'm going to let you know how terrific I am, and so they can make up all sorts of stories or embellish how wonderful they are. They're fishing for admiration. And so when they have somebody that doesn't have the advantage of knowing some of the behind the scenes stuff, it's like, I'll get admiration from them. They'll walk away thinking, what a really nice person, when in fact it's all phony.
Yeah, I do that.
True affirmation and love and encouragement comes as we know each other's fullness, pluses and minuses,
yeah,
not just the superficial stuff. That's another truth that's lost on the narcissist.
Even the
fourth question, and that is, why do my differences threaten you so much? You know, if you interpret things differently,
wait,
differences threaten you so much. You know, if you interpret things differently, or if you have a different emotional reaction, or if you have a different preference, it's like, why are you doing this to me? And it threatens them.
You know, that's true. It feels like differences are like something to conquer sometimes. It feels like it's a roadblock to jump over. It's like a goal to achieve when it shouldn't be. The goal should be to understand the other person and get it. But for me, it feels like I have to convince them otherwise.
It's because they have no empathy. They have no notion that other people have their angles that they operate with, and empathy means that you're willing to see life from another person's perspective. And it's like, I don't have any curiosity about you and how you think and how you feel, and I have no desire for another perspective. So of course, my differentness threatens them, in the sense that it says you're not the center.
I'm always willing for you guys. Anything with me though is I'm always at least willing to have a conversation. I'll never shut down and shun you out. I'll actually listen, and even though it might get kind of crazy, right? I'll always entertain a dialogue all the time. So I get mauled when I don't get a dialogue. It's like I still want to hear it and talk about it.
Of the universe right in this moment, it's like, oh yes, I am. And so their lack of interest in you reflects their need to be the center of attention at all times. Or number 5, do you honestly believe that your opinions cancel out the validity of others' opinions? You know, there are so many different topics and subjects that arouse varying opinions.
Yes.
And it could be the big stuff like politics and religion.
So?
I mean, those are topics we can talk about all day long and have very different thoughts about it. But it can be some simple things like what you like to do for entertainment or where you want to go on your vacation. They have an opinion about everything. And rather than saying, well, here's my opinion, what's yours? It's like, no, I don't want to know your opinion. And so in their mind, it's like there's only one that matters, and it's me. And so they honestly do believe they've got such a high and lofty notion about how life is supposed to be. It's like, well, then if you have something that's different, it's probably irrelevant.
I might do that sometimes.
Or a 6th question we could ask them, and that is, in what ways do you need to grow and change?
Oh, no, not me. This is not me.
And that is, in what ways do you...
No, I have a lot of things that work on myself on. I know that for 100%. Guys, I know for 100%. Guys, I have a lot of answers to that.
Need to grow and change. Now, there are a lot of people that ask, particularly when you...
slowing down, being more understanding, being more caring, being more generous with others, giving them more leeway in what they say to me and how I interact with what they're telling me. A lot of times I don't give people the benefit of the doubt and have my walls up.
You're getting to know people, and if you really want to know if they're sincere or not, ask them this question: in what ways do you need to grow and change? And the narcissist is thinking, well, I could probably have a nicer house, or I could probably, make more money or something like that. But it's like, grow,
no, that's not me.
Change. I don't need to grow and change. And again, they
that's
have to have such a tightly sculpted image that they have out there to suggest that they need to grow and change implies that they're not a complete person. And it illustrates that they live with a hidden shame. To suggest that you need to grow means you don't have it all together. And to them, it's like, oh, that's the worst thing possible. They can't answer that question. Or seventh question, and that is, if I make you feel so frustrated, why do you keep coming back? Now sometimes,
because I like it.
Sometimes the narcissist will just say, get out of here, forget it, I can't stand you. But they can have a lot
because
of
I like it.
And strain and tension. And when you just think, man, they've just so expended all of that emotion at my expense.
Because it is my understanding, okay, that having two people on the same side is bad overall. I like having somebody that I don't agree with a lot, so that we can talk about stuff and have at least something to talk about. Instead of always saying, oh yeah, we agree with everything and it's boring as fuck. I actually enjoy the heat.
They never want to be around me. They keep coming back and they keep criticizing you. Why do they do that? And the answer is, it makes them feel superior. And then every time you gripe and whine and complain, it's like that feeds them. That's their supply. It's like, well, you need me around to just keep you straight, and it just makes me feel like I'm that much better. Conflict and strain and tension actually allows them to enter into their fake place of superiority. And then an eighth question is, why do you go silent? Now, sometimes in their ways of dealing with you, they'll just kind of give you the silent treatment, and they just ignore you, or they'll pull back and they'll withdraw their secrets. They don't let you know what's going on. And
okay, do that.
It's all part of their fear, of course, and it illustrates that they can have propensities towards passive aggressive anger.
No, don't do that.
Their anger out, but with the least amount of vulnerability. So those are some questions that a narcissist just simply can't answer. They can't be open. They can't access the interior of themselves.
I never actually ignore people, because when I'm in an argument or whatever, I never actually stop and move on and let him get mauled. I always give the answers back.
Now, I'm hoping that as you observe these kind of things, that you'll have an entirely different mindset that you can draw upon. For example, I'm hoping you can think.
You can ask all the people around me, dude. I never block anybody. I always get blocked. I never block any of my girlfriends, ex-girlfriends. I never block anybody. I always get blocked.
Things like, I like being personable. And in addition to that, I like.
Well, Aiden is a fucker. I blocked his ass because he did some bullshit. He fucking spammed the mic. That's bullshit.
Fine with that. I hope that I never stop learning and growing. I want to be free. And freedom means that you don't have to hide behind pretenses. And then there's another thought that I'm hoping you can go along with. This is one of Gus's favorites. Love me, love my dog. That's an old Southern saying. When you get me, you get what comes with me. Love me, love my dog. I just had to throw that one in for Gus. Gus is not here today.
Is that
another thought that I'm hoping you can hold on to, and that is coming to terms with your mistakes and failures is part of the growth process. I embrace that. Or another thought that I hope you can hold on to is, if we love each other, it means we love all of each other. We just put it all out there. And
thank you, man. I have learned, chat. That was good. I enjoyed that.
Life is simpler when we're not conniving and looking for an angle. We each are a combination of pluses and minuses. And
yes, I learned a lot.
So we can stay away from the extremes. I'm not going to look at you as all minuses, nor do we need to look at you as all pluses. We can.
Are you ready to go? What?
Yeah, what are we playing?
I don't know.